we'll be doing the configurations of Golden Gate for applications. This steps is already done. Update Oracle client tsnap.ora. Now we'll be first doing this replication, extract process, pump process, and replicate process. So log into the GGSI and info all. I'll stop the manager for time being. Okay, then I'll be adding this schema trend data for test one. You know, the test one is my schema in source. Okay, I have to log into the source. TV login, user ID is OGG user @ OGG source. Okay, and then I'll add the test one. And I'll also do the similar things for, I'll check the info will be same. Okay, and the next steps will be start manager. Okay, so the first steps, what I did, I have started the schema trend data for test one. The next steps I'll be configuring the extract process and then pump process. Now what is extract process? We know that we extract the details from source and it will create a trail file. What is a pump process? Pump process, you can say it's kind of a precautionary process for we'll be doing this initial load to the Oracle data pump, and then this pump process, this will kind of a, it's not a must, but it's kind of a precautionary process. So it will take this extract process trail from local trail to the remote trail. So if something happens to the extract process, if something crash, so that this file protects. And we'll also, and after that we'll be configuring the replicate process. Replicate process take the trails from the extract or the pump process, and you know that will start the replicate process and try to replicate at the target site. So first I will configure the extract process. For the extract process, I will be creating extra parameters. This is GG home, that means we are already in the home U01 OGG or GGS. So I'll be creating a parameter at the beginning. The parameter is you know, this is a source database, so, and the nslang, this is the user ID and the passwords. This is the extract trails in the dir.st. I have given some of the details. These are the things. Okay, this will tran log options, exclude users, and there is some of the additional details. These are not mandatory, but you can put it. And this is required for the buffer size and db buffer size. This is for the ASM. I have also given this the explanations, all these things. So if the buffer size is max bytes, memory allocated buffer, this increase maximum size for the ASM instance table, specify the schema in the table. I can definitely put this table name because I am already having only one, but if we have a multiple tables, you can put star, so anything will work. Okay, the next thing is that I'll be logging again to my source. Okay, now I'll be creating a checkpoint file for my source point table, and I will also register the extract. This will not work because I have given this extract name is the wrong extract name. My extract name is, there is no C01. What is saying that it doesn't have any privilege on the OGG test. Okay, it says about doesn't have any privilege. Well, the previous error we are getting, now I figured out why we are getting the error. It was telling that there is no privilege on OGG test. I'll figure out it was on the source table, there was no privilege, so I have given the quota unlimited to OGG test. It should work now. Okay, so we're already having a checkpoint table. Now we are going to register the extract. Yes, now I'll add the extract trend log and begin now. Okay, extract added. Now the extract trail and extract name and put the size as a 5 MB. Okay, and now I can start the extracts. I can see that if it is working. Okay, there is some problem. I have to check what does the problem look like. Okay, maybe it is better if I have another one instance here. E01 GGS. The color is not good. Maybe I'll put something as a red. Yeah, this is much better. Okay, let me see the what is the error. Tell 100F GG SE. It says data source not specified. Yeah, it's running because there was something missing, like the source name, extract name was missing, so it is started working now. Well, in the next steps I will be doing for the pump process. In the pump process I will be creating the similar pump parameter, PSRC, okay, and you can see I can go through this thing. This is the extract process, remote host. As I said, that pump process is optional, but this is mostly kind of a precautionary step, so that local trails, we can put the local trails into the remote trails. For my purposes, since it is a single golden gate hub, this is a extra measures, though it is not required, because my remote, I don't have any remote host. My remote host is the same as a local host. So this is my host name, so I'll put the host names in the as a remote host, and the port, my port is running as a manager port is running as a 7809. Timeout put remote trails, I put the remote trail as a PS, and the pass through means there is no database connections. So if I'll go through here, you can see the pass through means no connection to database is not required. Remote trail, location of the prefix of the files created in the target system, my target system is same, and here also I'll put since it's my single tables, I'll put as a T1. So okay, now I'll log in. TB login, user ID, OGG user, TNS entry is OGG source. Okay, so I'll be running this, I'll be adding this extract and the extract trail source I am pushing as a ST, that is the it's a ST is a, you can see that XT is a source of extract process. So my pump process source is as a extract process, so this is a kind of a precautionary measures. Okay, and I also run the remote trail, though my remote trail and the same servers, and I'll start the PSRC. So everything correct, info all is running good. The next things what I have to do, that I have to do for the replicate process. For that I'll put as a seed as a target, and also I'll log in as a okay. OGG user lacks create session privilege. Okay, create session to OGG user. Okay, it's connected to database. Now this is for the replication process. I'll edit the parameters. Same way I could have done through the BI level, but I have done it this way. I'll just go through with that. So replicate parameters, replicate process name rapps, set NV target. Okay, that's good. And I have put a assumed if the definition files is there is ignored in 12.2. okay, and I'll go through the what is that, what is called. And discard files, I'll put a discard file. DB options enabled instantiation filtering. This is a new feature in 19C of I believe after 12 to 12.2, so that we can filtering options, put a filtering options here. This is required for primary load. And the user logins will be using this user and user logins. I don't think so this will be required, so there will be a report count every 30 minutes. This is all optionals. DDL parameters include all, because I want to include all. DDL option report mapping option is there, test 1 to test 2. These are the mapping options I am going to use. So I will be removing these parameters. I'll be putting these parameters in the okay. The next things, my replicate, I'll be adding this replicate process. My trail name is this trail names, checkpoint tables. Okay, I am not going to add these things because I am going to perform some of the other steps. So what are the steps? I am going to perform this EXPDP and IMPDP. So you remember that I had the initial 29 rows. So this is just for testing. You might have a multiple tables with multiple rows. So the easiest part and the most I'll say the more effective way to perform the initial load is to the EXPDP IMPDP. So I'll be performing that. Now I'll be doing this initial preloading or initial loading through the export import. So this is my source database. You can see the source. So I'll be creating a directory for my source directory. Well, the next process after configuring the initial replicate is transferring the data from source to target database through EXPDP, IMPDP. Now this is a long process. I already having a separate video for that. The video name is this. This is AWS tutorial for beginners. How to migrate on-prem Oracle schema to RDS, where I have mentioned in detail, but I just want to show you what I have done. Okay, I have created a S3 folder, S3 bucket. First I have taken the export of my steps. I have taken the export from source, then I have created a S3 bucket and put the object, put the particular file there. Okay, and thereafter I have to actually this process happens from source, from their S3 and S3 to RDS, because we cannot directly copy to the RDS. So I went to the IAM, I create a policy, and the role is called S3 access role 1. This is also there is a policy. So this is the policy I put, and this policy is having the S3 put object, get object say list bucket, put object, something kind of, and I've given this to my bucket. And thereafter what I did, I went to the RDS and I add this role to my instance, and also I created the option group called RDS int1, and also I added the modify the database and added the option group there. So if you go through my previous video, you can get all the details. Now if you can, then thereafter I ran some scripts. So what I did, I ran the scripts and get a tax numbers, and I run these things once. So it was transferred there. I checked the files were there. Then I create a profile. Then I create a profiles. I create a table space. I that given some grants to these particular things, and then ran the import scripts. So it's got imported. This is something that, you know, this is the log files which I seen. Yes, the test2 t1 29 rows is now imported. So that means from here, if I run this thing test2.t1, I should get 21 rows, 29 records. Now I'll come back to my original things before doing rest of the replicate process. There is rest of the steps. So I have to restart the replicate, because I have to restart with the SCN number. So before doing that, I'll go back to my source database and I'll try to insert some of the rows. I'm gonna do it from here. We put on the test1.t1, put this as 30. These things I running in the source. Okay, now I'll go back to my target. I already in my target, and so if you remember, I when I use some SCN numbers. The SCN number was that, I believe this was the SCN number. Yeah, this was the SCN number I use. Now when I come back here, so my manager extract, two extract processes running. Now I'm going to start my replicate process. Something happens, so I have to check what happens. Okay, this is a very common issue, these problems. I got a solution for that. If you see this, this is the note, this is the solution for this Oracle note. So they say this is quite a easy, this is something like a common issue. So I'll try to solve solutions for that. Info or apps. Okay, for me it's all 0. I'll create another checkpoint table. Called just simple, let's call T4. I'll delete the process, replicate process, and I'll add. This is also 0 for me. I get it from here. First records RBA 0 and the checkpoint table. Okay, I have copied the table wrongly. Mine is RApps. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll start manager, and start. Yeah, this is running. So the next thing, I'm going to the logs. I'll check what is the logs is showing. Okay, better to check this dir dat. So what is there? You can see there is one st, one ps. Why it is okay, I'll see what's there, and we'll check if there is any thing is replicated here or not. Say for 34 rows, that's true, because I have added here 5 rows, so we'll add some more. Okay, and also we'll commit. Okay, now if I'll go to if I'll check the logs, you can see there is another rows are coming here. The trail file obtained definition is coming. So if I'll go to the dir dat, I should see some actions. Here what is happening, you can see both are having the same timestamp. This is interesting because normally, as I said, the pump process is a precautionary step. It's not important, it's not I'd say it's not must. It's definitely important, not must, because and it is required to for remote trail. Since the Golden Gate hub we are having a single hub, and we don't have any second or alternate multiple Golden Gate hub, so that the remote trail and the local trails are same in the same server. So the purpose that you can say that st is something, this things st, this is and ps is for pumping process. Take the exact trail in the remote trail, and this is the local trail, and these are multiple copies are coming. So but when we have assigned our replication process, if you can go back to the replicate process, you can see we have taken from ps, so it is definitely getting from ps. st is copying from the st process, and it is coming here. Okay, so it's replicating, so I believe we are good here. Now before leaving, we'll do a small recap. What are the exact steps we have done? So on premises, it's not on premises, is our EC2 instance as well, but definitely it will work from the on premises, because this is the only thing is effect from here, the Golden Gate hub from here, that it takes connect to the TNS entries, and it takes the things from details from here. Well, I was mentioning that in this architecture there is slight difference we did, because for the changes we done through the Golden Gate hub normally, and that for the mostly that the primary, that is initial load we done through the through the EXPDP and IMPDP, and we have done through the S3. So it was first transferred from on premises to S3, and then from S3 to RDS. Okay, so what we did we first created two spot instances, one for our Oracle installations 19c, one for our Oracle client installations, as well as Golden Gates installation for Oracle. We install it, we configure both the Oracle and Golden Gate. So we already discussed all this thing in detail. Install 19c we did, and thereafter We also install the RDS Oracle database. We create a customized non-default parameter files, so we change two parameters, only one parameter. There was two parameters need to be checked. One is so that thereafter we'll be configuring the replications. We know that we done the loading data initially with the Oracle data pump. This is the faster way. If you have lots of data, you can do that this way. So we configure the extract process, we configure the pump process and replicate process, and thereafter we show the test the replication that it is actually working. So guys, here I am going to conclude the sessions. This is a very long video because there are lots of steps to show you, but there are a hell lot of learning could be done by doing this kind of steps. I'll be having my next video where I'll be showing you from Oracle to Postgre using the Golden Gate. So stay tuned for the next video. It could be done in next couple of days. So thank you for watching my video.